Hello Foundations. Today we're going to continue with our scribble drawing and scribble coloring. We talked about Vincent van Gogh last week and we made some really cool pumpkins for our still life. Remember, a still life is when the artist sets up different things like pumpkins in that case, or maybe a vase of flowers, and they look at it and then they paint it or draw it. We're going to be drawing it. So I was inspired by his sunflowers painting, and I'm going to show you what that looks like a little bit later, but we're going to make our own. So you're going to grab whatever you're going to be using to color and draw with, a pencil, and then if you need markers or crayons or colored pencils, whatever you feel comfortable using. All right, let's get started. All right, so Van Gogh, when he made his still life, he had a vase of flowers, and a vase is just like a container that you can put flowers in, kind of like a cup. And we are going to start with that, and then we're going to add our flowers after. And the first thing I want to do is start drawing it. So I'm going to use my marker. Put a little bit of wet over there. Okay, so to draw the vase, so in the middle of your paper, you are going to draw an oval shape. Remember, an oval is kind of like a skinny circle. That's going to be for the main part of our vase. For the bottom of our vase, we're going to draw a line here on this side, and then a line down sticking out this way. So two lines sticking out from the bottom, kind of like little legs. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a smile line that connects them, just like that. So it's going to kind of look like a head with a neck. Then for the top of the vase, you're going to add a slanted line this way, sticking out kind of like an antenna. And then the same thing on this side. So it's going to look like a head, a neck, and two antennas. So you got a line sticking up here and a line sticking up here. To make the top of the vase, I'm going to make another curvy line, kind of like a smile, just like that. And then I'm going to make a frown line right on top of it. And that's going to make the top of the vase, or the opening of the vase. All right, and if you wanted to make it a different shape, you totally could. If you want it to be a square or a rectangle, totally up to you. All right, so let's add the flowers. So when you're drawing flowers, you want to think about the parts of the flowers. You have the stem, and then you have the center of the flower, and then you have the petals that stick out from the middle. So I'm going to draw my stems first. So I'm going to draw a line coming out like this here, another line here, and then another line here, and those are going to be the stems. I'm going to have 3 sunflowers, and I want them to be different sizes, so one's going to be taller than the other ones. And then in the middle of the sunflower, we'll have that circle, another circle here, and then another circle here. Okay, and to make the petals, there's lots of different ways to make petals. This is just one way, but I'm just going to keep repeating these curvy lines. So curvy line facing this way, and a curvy line facing this way. I'm going to do the same thing all around my flower. And if you have a different way that you want to make the petals, you can definitely do that. I'm going to do the same thing on each flower. Right, these are looking good. And if some of your lines are overlapping, that's totally fine. That means they're going on top of each other. All right, I think those kind of look like sunflowers. And then I'm gonna add the leaves to the flowers. And it's basically just a big version of the stem. So a curvy shape that goes down, and then a curvy shape that goes up. And then you have leaves. If you maybe wanna add another one behind it, you can. Okay, perfect. All right, this is looking good. Now, I don't want my vase just floating around in space. We need to ground it. So we're gonna make the edge of the table that it's sitting on. So I'm going to draw a line across my paper. So starting in the middle, going all the way across, I'm gonna stop when I get to my vase. Then I'm gonna go all the way over here. If you wanna make a window, you could just draw a big rectangle. And now we can start to color. And just like we did last time, we're gonna use scribble coloring to color it in and add the shadows. So I'm gonna use brown for the center of the flowers. The center of a sunflower is usually like a brown or a dark black. So I'm gonna add that color in right now. And again, you can use more than one color when you're coloring, especially when you're scribble coloring. And I think those are a little bit too light, so I'm just gonna add some scribbles on the inside of my flowers. Awesome. And then sunflowers, they're yellow and orange. So I'm gonna get an orange, a big one and a skinny one, and then some yellow. So I have different thicknesses too. Some skinny and some thick. And I'm just gonna color in these flowers. In some petals, I'm going to make orange. In some, I'm going to make yellow. It's okay if you go outside the lines. When Vincent van Gogh was painting his sunflowers, he made it as a gift to one of his friends, another artist who was going to come stay with him, and they were going to paint. And he used the sunflowers as a gift, or the sunflower painting, I should say. Right now I'm just adding green for the stems. And now I'm going to color in the vase. And I want a blue vase. So I'm going to use my dark blue and my light blue. So let me color this in. Again, I'm just using scribbles. Cover all that space in. Then I'm also going to use the darker blue. That is looking good. And then since our window is over here and the light would be coming from the window, if you want to make the shadow on this side, you can. Just make your darker squiggles on this side of the vase. Again, this is optional. Some very high level art stuff right here. But try it, see what happens. So I'm just gonna make it darker on this side because the light is coming through the window. All right, so now for my table. I think I'm gonna make it brown. So I'm just gonna make my scribbles. I had so much fun making my scribbles last time that I couldn't wait to do it again for this project. And again, if you don't like doing scribbles, just color it in the regular way. All right, and then I'm gonna do some dark brown. So I have my light brown and now my dark brown. And then I think I'm gonna add a shadow on this side. So I'm gonna take some more dark brown, since the light is coming from the window, and just add it right here around my vase to make it look like a shadow. Again, this is optional, you don't have to do this, but try it, see what happens. Okay, very nice. And then for the window, I want it to be a really bright sunny window, like a bright sunny day. So I'm just going to color the window yellow. Maybe there's some orange in there too. Maybe it's a sunset. All right, and now I think I'm gonna add some lines for my window. So I'm gonna add 2 horizontal lines. Those are lines that go across, and then 2 vertical lines that go up and down. I'm just gonna go around it. All right, so now I have a beautiful vase of sunflowers inspired by Vincent van Gogh, and I colored it using scribbles. Our sunflowers are done. I'm really excited to see the sunflowers that you create. Have fun, and I'll see you guys soon.